Ladies and gentlemen, this presentation is brought to you by The Greatness Continues LLC. And you are now tuned into The Greatest Conversations, starring Reese Teutons, Shaka the Wise, Sensei J, the Masked Man, Big Z, and your host, D. Jones. Once again, you are tuned into the greatest conversations.
I think the same way with that, but you got to understand though, if you have an idea or a mindset, that is your job. Because if you gonna have that type of realization and not act on it, people are still gonna be stuck in the same place. Imagine if all the niggas that you name, that you like whatever, like Martin Luther King. Imagine if them niggas ain't do shit. Imagine if they thought how to make change and ain't do shit, nigga. I'll still be sitting in the back of the bus, nigga, yelling at your ass in the back of the bus. What, nigga? The fucking back of the bus.
Listen, the problem is that there are niggas who be like, hey, I'm gonna teach everybody. But the thing is niggas think they know everything already. You try to teach
your
somebody.
Problem is you think you know everything, nigga. Learn from them niggas.
You try to teach somebody something, they won't listen.
Learn from them.
But I'm not, and I'm gonna say this right here in the public. Big Z ain't teaching nobody shit at the moment because Big Z trying to take the next step up. And if you mad at Big
That's
Z,
what I'm talking about.
No, but listen.
That's what I'm talking about.
The library,
You know what I
if
mean?
you're in Columbus, Ohio, the library is free, my nigga. Get your lazy ass up, go to the library and check out a book and read that shit. Knowledge is free.
You tripping, bro.
You don't need Big Z because here's the thing: if I teach you something,
Right
it's
now,
biased.
right now you can't. Unless you got internet, you got
it's biased. Right? It's biased. Though. It's biased.
Wait, hold on.
It's biased.
So let me ask you a question then. If you was listening to the radio, or if you was talking to someone, and they came at you, you're like, bro, you have access to the library. Why the fuck aren't you out there reading that shit? Like, how are you gonna take that? Like, you're gonna be like, oh shit, you're right. I should just take my.
Yeah, but but my thing is like, it's as simple as
It's
as simple as when me and you. No, it's as simple as when me and him had a conversation and we had a disagreement and you prove a fact and you look it up on your phone. I could tell somebody a scientific fact and they be like, that's not true. Nobody, nigga, look it up. I'm not looking that shit up. You look it up.
But see, that's not your job. Your job is to tell people. Your job is to tell people what they do with the information. That's on them.
Nigga, that's why we have the podcast. That's why I'm saying it on the
That's your
podcast.
job. That's what
So these niggas can hear me.
Nigga, you just say you want to teach nobody. You so contradictory. You just say you ain't gonna teach nobody, but
No, I'm saying like one-on-one. Am I when Big Z walk these streets, alright? Big Z not about to look at a nigga, a random black nigga, and like, hey dog, you know who Battle TJ Walker is? How does that look, Shaka? Hey young man.
I don't know, you might change somebody like that.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
You know what I mean?
You remember what Uncle Ben said, bro? With great power comes great.
But I'm not a hero, nigga. I'm a villain. It don't matter. I'm a villain.
Making rice.
I'm a villain. I'm about to come up. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, listen.
Wait, so at the end of the day,
Everybody
at the
can't be
end
winners.
of the day, what are you trying to say?
At the end of the day,
Like-
about which point? About Black history?
Yeah, like
At the end of the day, if you want to have teachers, right? If Black history wants to be important, first of all,
It is important.
We have to put those.
It is important. It's important.
No, I'm serious. It's important. It's important to African Americans. I'm saying if the world,
It's
if the
important to
government,
everybody,
if the
bro.
white man, if these white parents want it to be important, you gotta take these puzzle pieces, right? And put it into the big fucking puzzle. You can't have a puzzle right here and say the month of February we're going to
you just saying you just can't have it segregated in 1 month. You got to do it throughout the.
Yeah, you gotta talk about the American Revolution.
We all say the same thing.
It'd be cool to talk about this whole year.
That's what I was agreeing. But I'm saying if you're gonna keep,
it's a good step.
But if you do want to keep Black History Month and the importance of individual people, you know, then teach it with the whole history and don't just have a name and what they did, you know, because then you get the time period, but you can't put it in perspective. You know, Madam C.J. Walker was the first billionaire. You know, most people say she was the first billionaire without knowing how hard and what that means. Like even in today's society, we got like three or four billionaires. You know, and then not only was she the first billionaire, she was the first woman billionaire and the first Black woman. But that doesn't even matter because when again,
that do matter.
No, because when you break up history and you break up genders like she was the first woman to do something. No, don't say she's the first woman. Just like she was the first African American
But I feel like
billionaire.
people gotta realize though how hard it was for a woman to do stuff.
But
like,
that's why you need all.
They was considered the same as slaves like at one point in time. So
I
for
agree.
them to,
I agree.
You know what I mean?
That's
For
why
her
you gotta
do
teach you
that-
all the history. You can't just say she's the first black billionaire because kids these days don't. They weren't there back then, and they're not learning back then. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but how does school teach
Well,
us?
how
this,
are you gonna
know,
teach?
like-
How do you include that? How do you segue?
Into that,
Yeah.
into like her time period.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about. Okay, so did we not talk about the Great Depression in school? We talked about the Great Depression.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. You learn about Franklin Delano Roosevelt in World War II. So I mean, she was there. You know, like in that era. So while you're talking about this, you know, you're gonna talk about the pros and the cons because we always talk about the pros and cons of history, right? We talk about the pros and cons of World War II and what good things happened. And some of the good things that happened in World War II was America got its first billionaire who was a woman, Madam C.J. Walker.
Because those are the kind of things that sometimes are even included, like in the history text, but your core subject isn't really.
The teachers.
I mean, that'd be cool, but
you know what I mean?
I don't have no problem at the moment where I think that Black history should be taught all year round. I think we need to teach ourselves as well.
And also,
but I have no moment. Hold on one sec. I have no moment like if you talking about Black history and you talking about the first billionaire. You know what I mean? Because I think that we all intelligent to put two and two together if we're really thinking. Or we can ask more questions like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think just to say that it's like bogus, I think that's crazy.
No, I'm not saying Black history is bogus. What I'm saying is it's helping the agenda of splitting people up. You know what I'm saying? If you have a Black History Month, because the moment you make a Black History Month, we already know there's going to be people out there ignorant who's going to be like, why can't we have this type of month? Why can't we have an Irish month? You know? Well, yeah. Like, and then the greatest comeback to that is White History Month. The niggas say, White History Month, that's all year round. It's American history, you know what I'm saying? And so, but what I'm saying is, if you want people to jump on board with an idea, right, you gotta be inclusive. You can't keep separating people, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just say...
It's like we're still segregated.
Yeah, we're segregating ourselves. We're segregating because then when you say, let's teach Black, that's... Like, if a kid in November, when he's in school, says, hey, you know, we're learning about World War II or World War I, and he says, are we gonna learn about this Black person, right? And he's in an all-white school, because I went to an all-white school, and the student's like, nigga, y'all, we're gonna learn about him in February. You're really not, but that's his comeback. In his mind, he justified your remark by saying we're gonna have a whole month learning about these people. You know, so just
but I'm not saying that it should be dedicated to a month. I said it's a good start. That's why I said it's a good start.
No, but that's what I said. Elementary school, yeah, have teachers. I think in elementary school you should still teach an inclusive history, but then when you get to the month of February, that should be like review for, hey, y'all remember when we learned about this? All right, we're gonna go back. What's some important people that happened? I'm gonna, you know, because now they already got it in perspective of what happened in that era.
You should get in school, Big Z.
He's a villain, bro. He ain't
yeah, nigga. I just told you, nigga. I don't.
See, that's your problem, bro.
So, cause no,
you want them woulda, coulda, shoulda niggas. You should, you should just.
Cause here's the thing,
bro. Teach them.
When Big Z was woozy, right? And he went to an inner city school, and he was like, "Hey guys, you know, we should."
So you were traumatized going to that school.
I won't say traumatized.
You didn't learn about Michael Jordan until you graduated.
Nah, I've been knew about Michael Jordan.
I thought you only learned about.
They tried to jump me for my first pair of Jordans. I didn't know who that fucking nigga was. I was like, you want my shoes, nigga? Yeah, that's what J's. Who the fuck is Jay? Nigga, you know what I'm saying? Who the fuck is Jay?
It's like I hadn't seen Space
Hey, that's Space Jam. Wait, that nigga is Space Jam. Hey, these are his shoes. Hey, he can have them back. I got these from
they really making a second one? I thought I saw a trailer.
Yeah, bro, LeBron.
Yeah, they're making a second
one.
Yeah, LeBron. You got to. It's LeBron.
But I mean, it's all about. But I mean, it's about, you know, material. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that, you know, we talk about the importance of this, but it's only important. Low key, it's only important to like enlightenment thinkers. You know, that's why the greatness continues. It's important to us. But I mean, you go like you said, growing up, that's just not important. It's about getting money, you know, making that come up.
That's what people,
you know. And if I know who Martin Luther King is, you know, then so be it. Because here's a funny story about Big Z. Right? I told you I went to Big Z.
Talking in third person.
Big Z. Here's a funny story about Big Z.
That's why he's the man.
Big Z.
Faceless.
Right.
Big Z. Some of y'all, cause you know, y'all know Afrocentric school. You know, because we in Columbus, Ohio. So Big Z.
That's where you went. I thought you went to an all-white school.
No, this is after Afrocentric school.
Oh.
So, you know, Big Z went to Afrocentric school and got kicked out because, you know, street life, you know, look me up. Got kicked out of Afrocentric, got kicked out of Columbus Public. But I went to a white school because that was the only school who didn't know who Big Z was.